So I want to talk to you about policy. What is the point of a policy? Why do we establish policies? I believe that policies are put in place with good intentions typically in order to provide guidelines for staff and for customers to know how the organization functions. It's provide clarity in a lot of cases. But here's the challenge. When we start to take the human element out and we hide behind policy, when policy takes on a life of its own, it's a problem. Let me relate a personal situation. We started to have some air conditioning issues last week. And we had a technician come out, take a look at our air conditioning unit. And we've been in the house for less than 10 years. In fact, we had the house built. And so we know exactly how old everything is, brand new systems, etc., 10 years ago. And the technician, when he looked at it, he said, yeah, you might have some issues with, and I don't know all the terminology, he said TXV and evaporator coil and things like that. And he says, the good news is that it's supposed to be a 10-year warranty. The bad news is, when I looked it up, it doesn't appear that the product registration card had been sent in. I said, product registration card? It's a brand new system. Whose responsibility is that to send in a product registration card? He says, typically it's the homeowner's. How would a homeowner ever know that they're supposed to send in a product registration card for an air conditioning system? And the way I finally tracked down the warranty certificate and the product registration card, it was stapled to the back of the operator's manual, hanging on the furnace and air conditioning unit. Who is going to move into a brand new house and pull out the operating manuals for their air conditioning system to look what do I have to do to make sure that I have coverage? Interestingly, in the state of California, Consumer Protection Act does not allow the air conditioning manufacturer to limit the length of their warranty because of a product registration card. And so right there on the warranty certificate, it states that the length of the warranty is 10 years and cannot be limited because of the product registration card. But when I called the manufacturer in our situation, because we should still be covered, I was told our policy states. So I asked for a supervisor, talked to the supervisor. Supervisor said, our policy states. And I'm saying, what? You're gonna hide behind policy? I mean, what is the point of a product registration card? I think there's two purposes. One is to get data back, information back for marketing purposes. I get that, that would be nice. The other purpose in a lot of cases is valid too, where it allows them to establish what is the in-service date. But there's no question in our case, the house was built less than 10 years ago. The one unit was manufactured less than 10 years ago. There's no question about the in-service date. And so the product registration card was purely for marketing purposes. And so are you going to hide behind a technicality and policy and take the human element out of it? Leaders, listen to this. You've got to stop doing that. People do business with people. Don't hide behind technicalities and policy. You know, there's the old saying, the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. Live the spirit of the law. What was the intent? In our case, this air conditioning system was built with the intent that it has a 10-year warranty. Live up to your commitments. You mark it on them, live up to them. And if you do that, you will build a better reputation and you will build better retention of customers. Plus, don't ever forget, every decision that you make as a leader sends a message to your team as to how you really operate. So, if you operate a certain way and hide behind policy with customers, are you going to do the same with your team, with your staff? If there's a question on their compensation plan, if there's a question about vacation, if there's a question about a variety of things, So don't ever forget, the decisions you make for customers send a message to your employees. Live by the heart of matters. Don't take the human element out of it. Make sure that you stand behind what the intent is and don't hide behind the policies. And you will build a better business, a stronger team, and a much greater customer following.